y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Pillow Talk. It's your girl, Truth, and I got Mrs. JaKCson here with me.
Hey. Heard that sexy voice.
That wasn't that sexy. I think what happened is your voice got caught.
I just wasn't ready.
Before it got delivered
She wasn't ready. Good morning.
So how's your week been, ma'am?
Busy, as always. I don't even know why we asked that question anymore.
Did you have any highlights? What were the highlights of your week?
Oh, no. I got my website popping. That was
You
a good
did.
thing. Yes,
Websites.
check out prettyandpaid.com. That's a sensitive subject, I know.
Yeah, so about the website situation.
We're uplifting businesses, remember?
I uplift.
We couldn't two mug sauce.
Okay.
We could not two mug sauce.
I uplift businesses. However, if you give me a certain deadline to get my stuff together, I truly believe that you should meet your deadline as well. And I'm going to just leave that at that.
Business to business, yes.
Yes, and that's just real. That's real business knowledge. Like, you want to leave a good taste in my mouth because you want me to refer people.
Especially with all these podcasts and stuff you got going and Black
all
business
these people that need
connections. And you connected.
Absolutely.
You're super connected.
You so ghetto.
She's
I can't
super
stand
fucked
you.
up.
Was that your only highlight? And your website is super cute too.
Thank you.
It is so cute.
I tried.
It fits you.
I like it. I do.
It's
I
really
like
cute.
it. I like it. Thank you.
The
So,
pretty and potent made me laugh a little bit. I thought that was really cute.
you know, that's where the pretty end came from because it started with pretty and potent and then it was pretty and pampered. And it's like, okay, well, these is all ways to get paid.
You know, you got one more to add though, right?
What?
Pretty and podcast.
I was trying to figure out how to do that, pretty in podcasting or something like that. But I was thinking also,
It
like,
flows.
if I bring the if I bring the bedroom handy back, then it was gonna be like pretty and pleased or pretty and pleasured or something like that. Yeah, that's trademarked. Don't steal that. But that's trademarked. But I'm trying to figure it out because I do need to. I mean, I'm seeing you do your thing with the bedroom candy and all of that, you know.
You
so.
really, at this point, better not pick up nothing else.
But it's sex. It goes with the podcast.
I understand.
And I could just team up with you on, like, come help you do some of your parties.
You're so funny.
You said we was going to tag team it anyway.
All right, well then just don't tell me not to pick up nothing else.
I support the hustle. 7 streams. What you at right now?
4.
See? So you got 3 more to go.
Yeah, 4.
So when you at 7, I'll
5's
tell you
on
to
the
stop.
way. Quietly on the way. I'm just going to come with that one just bam. Ain't nobody going to see it coming.
How I know this? I saw it coming. I did the side effects and everything.
But yeah, it's coming. It's coming real soon.
You know, that's a good topic. Talking of seven streams of income. That makes us flow right into the discussion.
Absolutely.
Today.
We're talking finances and relationships, the good and the bad, how it can get ugly at times and how sometimes it can truly mess up your sex life or your relationship as a whole.
True.
And so I guess I will more so, y'all know I'm an open book. Finances can truly cause tension in a relationship. Me and my husband have been down to where we only have $20 together. And we've been to the point to where we don't have to worry about a thing. I can say I enjoy the not having to worry about a thing versus the stress of having $20 together.
Yeah, because stress adds tension to your relationship.
It absolutely does, and you don't do it intentionally. But like when people say, well, money isn't everything, but it damn sure is important.
We got beds in this bitch, girl. Come and
part.
get you some.
And so, I mean, bills can't pay themselves. So if you got a whole family, and it's not just you got kids, you got to make sure everything stays on. Ain't no power getting off. They come cut the power off. Your kids going to be looking at you like, what happened? Y'all go to work every day. Why the power off? They don't understand that it was other stuff that had to get paid. So with that, you get stressful.
Yeah.
You don't know how to communicate that stress properly.
Can turn into anger.
And then you
Resentment.
start taking it out on one another. Mm-hmm. Then you're looking at your partner like, well, you need to do more and you need to do this and maybe you shouldn't have bought this. And y'all both guilty at that
habits.
point.
Spending habits.
Yeah.
Conflicts of interest. People not knowing how to budget accordingly or budgeting differently.
Absolutely.
All causes conflict. So how you deal with it?
You have to talk about it. And we started writing things out. and made someone in charge of making sure stuff gets paid.
So like writing out like a budget.
Yeah, or pretty much making sure that you stay on top of what has to get paid. Everything else is extra. So like for us, our number one priority is rent, of course. Then power bill, the gas bill, all the stuff in the house. Home comes first. Even the car comes after home. Home is first. Because that's where our kids have to come to. Home is first. Cars are second. Of course, that comes with the car insurance. Cell phones are third. And then everything else is extra.
So prioritizing your finances.
You have to prioritize. A lot of people put cars first. And then you pay your car. And then you're looking for how I'm going to pay my power bill. So, yeah, you got to prioritize.
But you got to have that car to get to work to pay the power bill.
It's Uber. It's bus. It's taxi cab. It's, yo, can I get a ride? And if you work close enough, it's walking. So you can get to work. There's too many ways to get to work. That's bullshit. But if your rent don't get paid and they serve that eviction, then what you gonna do, homie?
If your rent don't get paid, where you gonna get laid? Boom.
I can't stand you this morning. Y'all, she been on it since she stepped out her car.
Seriously though.
See her face,
seriously
she
though.
All of that. She
For
pointed
real.
the pen at me. Her eyes got a little bit bigger. She meant every word of that.
Because when they had that song and they say money make me come, or like cash make the coochie go whoop whoop, like it don't work if the money's not popping.
Sex is better when y'all ain't got to worry about bills. When y'all worried about bills, y'all not trying to fuck on each other. Don't nobody want no broke ass sex.
Yeah, you want to fuck on the bills, not like the dollar bills. Yeah, that's my kind of sex.
It helps. It definitely helps. And then like when you got money to spend, you can like buy new toys and stuff. So
bedroom candy.
I got it. I got what you need.
Money to blow.
No, absolutely, literally.
So when finances and things and tensions are at a high because finances aren't balancing, or say, what about this? What about when your partner makes less than you? Does that cause strain, or how do you tackle that? What's some tips?
To an insecure person, I mean, to a lot of people that do mine and yours, maybe.
So there is no separation of finances in relationship. Does it matter if you're married, or is this when you in a relationship in general?
I feel like if you're dating, it's still my money and your money, unless you have a home together. When you have a home together, y'all have to come together. I know I see a lot of posts talking about how the man is supposed to pay for everything in the house, and then the woman just like buys groceries and she takes care of her stuff.
He provides the home and she takes care of the home.
Yeah, to me, that's all fine and dandy if you marry into a situation or you're in a situation to where your man makes that much. Like, don't have unrealistic expectations, sis. Like, for real. Or like with the ones, what do I call them? Or what do you call them? The zuns that want to be taken care of by a woman. If that's your thing, and if this woman likes to do this, just, make sure that she can, take care of all your expenses, so to speak. But regardless, that's some
You don't think that's going to bring in a sense of resentment? Or let's ask y'all, like, is it going to bring in resentment at some point because you're always providing? And I mean, at what point do you split it? Men enjoy providing.
Some men enjoy providing. Some women enjoy being mothers.
Sugar mama?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's their thing.
Beyonce started that shit.
I don't know nothing about that shit. I don't know.
It ain't tricking if you got it. I didn't trick a little bit before.
If I knew I was involved with a man to where you're making like this, let's just say six figures of income, then absolutely
you expect
should be
more
able to take care of the home. But I'm married to a teacher.
But what if he makes those 6 figures and he still wants you to split it 50-50?
Then that's just, we're not going to get married.
You don't agree with that?
No, because that means that you're still mine and yours. I feel like when it comes to finances, it should definitely be shared once you're married. If you're dating, then you can do mine and yours because y'all haven't committed to one another. But the home has to be met. Everything, and if you guys are deciding to live together, everything in that home needs to be met by both parties. Unless you just got that man that's like, babe, I'm going to handle it X, Y, and Z. Just make sure it's always groceries in the house. Make sure the kids get what they need and pay your cell phone bill. Something like that. Whatever. However they set it up. I don't know.
I think that goes back to old school.
It's communication. Like, you just got to communicate.
Where men are supposed to be the provider. So,
But I think people take that out of context because a man can only provide what he has.
yeah, you can't give what you ain't got.
And so I think a lot of people are putting unrealistic expectations on this man that they knew was working at Burger King. And you want him to pay your $950 rent and his check ain't even $950. So how is he supposed to do that, sis?
And you can't be mad at him for that when you knew what it was when you came into it.
That's my point.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I see all these posts and I be wanting to speak up, but I'm like, I don't want to start no riot.
We're going to
right
go
now.
back to Beyonce with that let me upgrade you shit.
I mean, but she had, the thing is she had the money. Because, okay, let's just flip it. Let's say I'm making 6 figures. And let's just say hubby's still a school teacher. We know school teachers don't get paid shit.
Right.
So I'm going to take care of everything. You take your money and guess what? Invest it in going back to school.
Is there some point you're going to get tired of that?
If I got the money, no.
You think so?
I like to spend. I'm a giving person.
You don't feel like because his lack of finances or he doesn't have a desire to meet you financially, that some women might see that as lack of ambition?
Some women, yes. Real women, no. Because his ambition got him to be a teacher. You have to be educated to be a teacher.
So what if he's not a teacher? Because, yeah, teachers they're dedicated to the cause.
Okay, so let's just say
he's
been working at Burger King. Let's say he's already put in his 10 years. Let's say he's already been given the green light to where 2 more years he finna be a franchise owner. You telling me, sis, you can't hold on for 2 more years for him to own his own franchise?
But what if he don't want to own that
10 years?
franchise? What if he just flipping them burgers and getting them fries because it's steady? Well, he's comfortable with it and it pay the bills.
If he told you that and you already knew he was an excellent burger flipper and this is just what he wanted to do, you decided to settle down with him.
Not an excellent burger flipper,
I'm just
though.
saying,
I can't stand it.
you have to appreciate the
man you
person
got,
that you got. And if
the
this is
woman
what
you
you
got.
accepted, I mean, like they say, you can't raise no grown person. You can't. They're raised already.
Yeah.
So if he got his mind made up, like, you know what, I'm flipping the hell out these burgers. My burgers be the best. I ain't never got no complaints. People walk away smiling. This is what I'm happy with.
But as women, I know a lot of
women. But don't be no 42-year-old rapper selling mixtapes out your trunk. I'm just saying.
Got them MP3, CDs, DVDs, what you need.
That part. No shots
I think
taken.
women, we expect to change these men. We
Okay
expect to change our partners. We want to change them. Like he don't have all this drive. He ain't doing all that he can do. She not doing what she could do. But once she get with me, once he get with this boss, we gonna change all of this. We gonna get it together.
So that's like that pimp mentality. So like when pimps find hoes, they find a broken person who ain't got really no ambition, who they believe don't know what to do, who don't know how to get out and get it, whatever. Once she get with me or once he get with me, we finna get this money. I'm finna show him how to do X, Y, and Z. We finna build. And yo asses is still pimping out of budget suites. I'm just saying, you can't raise a grown person if they don't have that hustle in them or that ambition in them or that entrepreneurial spirit or that building spirit. They just don't have it. Some people are workers.
Yeah.
Some people just are okay with being workers. They do not have dreams to be their own boss. They are okay with clocking in and out and knowing that their check is coming, so to speak, because it could stop. Just saying, message.
Yes, the mighty do fall, so you got to have that sense of humility when it comes to finances and in your relationship in general, because there may be a day where, you making 6 figures and all of that, but as we know, the only thing that's permanent and that's guaranteed is change, So you got this job now, but if it ain't your own business, there's no real security in that. So who's to say that your partner who's flipping the burgers or the manager at the department store or whatever he's doing, truck driver, Who's to say that you're not going to be dependent on them at some point?
Exactly. And even being your own boss, you can hit a block to where money just stops coming in. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Baby's still flipping them burgers. We're going to have to downsize, but it's still something coming in. I may have to ask them to get me hired so we can flip burgers together so we can get this money together. You have to, I guess it all comes to knowing what you signed up for and accepting the person that you got. Yeah, if you start dating somebody at 19, no, you're not expecting them to be the same person at 30 as they were when they were 19. You should be able to see a trend by like 23. You should be able to see growth within a few years. But if you find this 35-year-old man and he shows you, or a 35-year-old woman, and they show you, this is who I am, what they say, believe them.
Yeah. Someone shows you who they are.
Believe them. Like, this is what it is.
So what about these couples who started young, since you brought up the ones that come out of high school? So I know I have several friends, probably a lot of our listeners have been high school sweethearts or, have that relationship that's been long going. I know, right? Ain't it?
That's that storybook
But
love.
say they have this relationship, and as time progresses, financial circumstances change, ambitions change, spending habits change and begin to vary and differentiate from what you became accustomed to. How do you combat that, or how do you deal with that? How do you allow it not to become an obstacle in your relationship?
How would you deal with that?
Okay. So we 100 here, right? Mm-hmm. So I remember years ago, my wife is a gambler. She likes to gamble. And she was working, but it was like you would gamble away the full check. And then, girl, tell me about it. And so then I'm left struggling trying. She's sipping that coconut water. I'm gonna need you to have some coconut Ciroc for this conversation. No, I'm just kidding.
Ooh, no vodka.
Yeah, I know you like that dark. But she was a gambler, compulsive gambler, and I think it's inherited. Some behaviors are hereditary; they're inherited. She grew up watching her dad gamble away the rent check, and mom was always working hard, had a good job. She was pretty much the breadwinner of the household, and she would watch her provide, and dad is recklessly gambling away his stuff, and she picked that up. And it was frustrating. It was really frustrating, but it came to the point where we just had to have a conversation like, yo, you can't do this, or you just not going to have a wife, honestly, because I felt like it's inconsiderate. It shows lack of consideration for your household. We have a child. Mm-hmm. And for your partner. I'm working hard and I'm not recklessly spending. And I know we have these responsibilities that we need to take care of. And gambling ain't one of those. Like, especially hundreds. Like, my nigga, you just gambled $500 away. Do you know what we could have done with that? And rent do?
Ooh, that makes me like sick to my stomach.
So fortunately,
$5 in the machine make me sick
girl,
to my stomach. Go ahead.
'Cause I mean, for real, I work hard for my money. Like, and $5, I don't have it just to give to you, especially if I know I'm not getting nothing back for it. And I've tried it because she likes to gamble. So what we did was, okay, you like to do this, so we're going to set up a budget. This is the amount that you have for this, but the rest has to go to finances. And then whatever we have that's extra, then okay, we can see what we can work out or what we have extra for you to humor yourself and, do what you do. Right. But it was hard. It was frustrating as hell. And it came down to difference in priorities, maybe, which you face in relationships sometimes, that somebody doesn't quite understand it or grasp the severity of the situation and what's going on, or they don't care, or I don't know. I wouldn't say they don't care. Maybe they don't care.
Or it's something that they've just been doing for so long.
That it's a habit.
So, like, for example, let me see, how can I do this kind of discreetly? Because you never know who's listening. So let's just say that you have a partner that has a different kind of addiction. And they're used to spending hundreds.
On that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then they get with someone and it's like, no. That's the last thing.
So the partner was doing this before you got together.
Right. Before you made two households one.
Okay.
Now that you've made two households one, now this household is now bigger.
You weren't aware of this habit before you began cohabitating?
So you're not trying to eliminate the habit, but you knew how the bills was going to be before you decided to cohabitate.
But you knew about the habit also.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. So you have to take the habit into consideration, number one, but they also have to take new bills into consideration. So you take the habit into consideration. They take the new bills into consideration. Y'all got to meet in the middle like y'all did and find a happy medium. So we need to get all this taken care of first. Then we'll see what you can spend. So I feel like the way you did it was absolutely correct.
That's crazy, though.
You
Then
have
that's a
to,
whole
like,
nother obstacle.
you have to communicate, though, because the thing is you can't be selfish and say with certain habits that don't bring anything into the household, you have to set yourself apart and say, hey, I understand I was able to be frivolous when it was just me, but it's not just me anymore.
So what are tips for managing that? Do you get like a joint bank account, or do you keep bank accounts separate?
I don't have.
How do you feel about intermingling funds?
Me and my husband don't have a shared bank account. He has his money in his account when it gets direct deposited. Mine gets direct deposited in mine. However, we know what bills are coming up. So it'll be like, hey, this week you got to pay XYZ. What he does with the rest of it, as long
So
as
is that how you do
XYZ
it?
gets paid,
He pays this bill, you pay this bill?
yeah, and then if I'm out of money, hey, can you hand me, $80, $100, whatever? I'm broke. I don't got no money. Can you slide me some cash? And that'll just be what it is. And it works for us. I can't say it'll work for everybody, but it took us a long time to find
what works for you.
Because before I used to feel some kind of way that he didn't want to share an account with me. I'm
And
like,
some
why? You
people
don't want me to see what you
feel
spending money
that
on?
way.
Yeah. But the thing is I realized with my husband, I have a very, I don't want to call him safe, but he's a safe husband because I trust about 90, I would say 99%. I trust his judgment. That 0.1% or 1% is just because I'm a prideful person. I'm a strong, independent woman.
Do you think in relationships people take advantage of that? Do y'all think that? Like, because, you've built this sense of trust and you know your partner and you're comfortable with your partner and you know their habits and they know their habits. So you keep your finances separate, right? So you really don't know what's going in and out. No suspicion.
Well, the thing is you do because you know how much they get paid. I'm the woman that I calculate. I'm so good.
But if
with
you don't
numbers.
see it,
You
how
know
do you
how
know?
much, because, okay, so if you make a certain amount hourly and you know when they're going to work and you know what their checks are going to be.
That was what I was getting
You know
to.
when the taxes are coming out, how much is getting taken out. You know how much they're claiming because you see that initial check. So you know
So you see the
what
check.
it's going to be.
You see the
I've
check?
seen his checks because he still gets, it's the same amount. His income hasn't changed. It's the same. He may get extra if he sells a prep or picks up a class or whatever the case may be. That's fine. If you get extra, that's extra. He doesn't hold his extra hostage though. I'm on him more than me. He's never asked me after paying bills, how much money do you have left? I do that to him. After paying what you pay, how much you got left?
Right.
Now, do
How
I
much
feel
can
he
I
tells
get?
me the whole truth all the time? No. But I've noticed my husband likes to make a little rainy day fund.
Yeah.
And he will tell me he only has, I only got $250 left.
Because he know you going to want 100
But
of it.
he'll have right. If he tells me $250, then I'll just be like, okay, well, can you give me
125 is
50?
mine.
Can you just give me $50?
Fuck that.
No, I don't
want
even
half.
take
I
half.
need 50%.
I don't take half because I know I got all this other money coming in at random times of the month.
And then you get him 50%.
I just need gas money and then money
Oh,
for
you don't
snacks.
want half because you don't want to get him half. You
No,
think
I'm
he's
not
slick.
giving half.
I say you ain't slick. I figured it out.
However, it works for us. It's weird. It took us a long time to get to this point.
Fellow talkers, do you guys have separate bank accounts?
Do you combine them?
I
Do
don't-
you do the joint?
When you have, I think we started with separate finances. We had separate finances and we had joint accounts up until she wanted to start betting on punk ass Lakers. And then we had to separate it, kind of.
Mad at you
I am diehard Laker Nation. I love the Lakers. I can't tell you who on a team right now since Kobe retired because I liked Kobe. Well, I liked the Lakers before Kobe. There was a point when I didn't like Kobe, but still, that's neither here or there. Lake Show. That's all I'm gonna say. But still, she betted on the punk ass Lakers. I wouldn't bet my money on them because they're unreliable. But I'm just saying that I don't think that was a smart decision. She might as well have just bet on me and let me go make the shot if you was going to bet on them. I'm just saying.
You are so funny.
Right. But that's when we separated our finances because I need to make sure I have this allotted amount. And then I can't afford for you to recklessly be dipping into my funds because if it's all there and you're irresponsible, then it can possibly all be gone. So we just want to know how y'all handle it. What situations have you run into as far as relationships and finances? Because everybody's different.
With these financial strains, like I said, it takes away from that healthy sex life.
Oh, yeah.
So, for example, there's a lot of men that deal with insecurities if their woman is making more money.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to that, they're not feeling as masculine as they normally do. So they may not want to have sex like that. Or if they have that woman that's constantly nagging, telling them they're not good enough and I'm paying for this and I'm paying for that.
Do you watch Marriage Boot Camp?
I don't. I tried.
I watched it, the one with
me.
Peter and Amina. Peter and Amina, but Megan from Bad Girls Club was on there with her boyfriend DeAndre. And that so much reminds me of her because she always bashed him. You're good with this $10 an hour job. I just want you to live up to your potential. You're not making enough money. I was with a basketball player. I was with this NBA player and I left him, and just always bashing him about his finances and not making enough. And you see where it got them. And they ended up breaking up, not being together at the end of Marriage Boot Camp. But I wonder what their sex life was like because
it
you
was
downing this
probably
man.
non-existent. It was probably non-existent because if you're downing your partner and then you're feeling like you're better than your partner,
yeah,
the attraction is not there on both sides.
No.
So then how do you have sex? Where does the sexy feeling even come in?
I don't want you to touch me if I feel like you're always downing me, or if I feel like I'm not on your level, or even if I'm insecure in myself at this time. And definitely if we argue and if I don't like you, you can't touch me.
Exactly. And that's why I say finances, even though people say, well, money isn't everything. It is so fucking important. Just like when people say sex isn't, that shit's important. Money and sex are important, people. And for some people, money, sex, and drugs. It's all important.
All of the above.
And so with that, like, communication, number one. Number two, y'all, realize what you signed up for when you signed up for that relationship. If you were okay with it, and let's say, like I said, it also depends on age. So like you brought up high school sweethearts. If they picked up habits once they started to grow up, you have ample time to address it. If it doesn't change, then at that point, it's up to you. But with you, people signing up for these things and you're grown, these people are grown. We are past the college days. We are past the I'm trying to figure out life days. And this is what you got. You met this man or this woman and they were having, like you said, that little $10 an hour job. You knew this. So how about before you sign up for it, ask them, do you have goals? You know, like what's your 5-year plan?
That part.
It's not a problem to ask that. What's your 5-year plan? Brandon asked me. And I flat out told him at this point I couldn't tell you because I have not figured myself out. But I'm willing to
But that's okay too.
Work on it.
At least you know.
And I told him, I said, I have no idea what I'm going to do in 5 years. If I could be a stripper, I would, but I can't. So that's not going to work.
You'll be getting money.
But I never thought I'd be where I am now. And I'm sure now he's probably happy he stuck around, but he saw that I was willing to do something. I just didn't know what.
You can tell.
But
you can tell.
With someone, if you ask them, you know, what's your 5-year plan? Well, I'm hoping to move from burgers to fries, or you know, hoping to move from doing stocking at the store to maybe being store manager. Like if they tell you this, appreciate that this is them. And if that's not for you, let that go.
Guess what?
What?
And when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl.
He could or she could.
That's
no,
crazy.
That's not even the case because I'm about to be on and I ain't leaving my man for no white man. Sorry, not happening.
You know he did
or
just that
girl.
though? Do you know Kanye did just that?
Well, she not white.
She's white.
She is not
She a white girl. What is she?
Ain't they Armenian?
That's white.
That's not white, Heffa.
That's white.
It's not.
You seen The Brothers?
Who brothers?
The Brothers, the movie.
I'm like, who's brothers?
And when the mama was talking, he said, "Mama, she is not white." So, well, what about a Mexican, a Chinese woman? No, a Mexican woman, a white woman with a taco.
With a taco, right? I know.
A Chinese woman, a white woman who don't speak it a goddamn.
Lord have mercy. That woman ain't white. She's not black for sure, but she's not white.
She's white.
She's not.
Okay.
Her sister white.
She white too.
They don't got the same daddy.
She white with a tan.
She is Armenian.
She white.
I can't stand you.
Caucasian. She checks the Caucasian box.
I bet she checks other. I bet she don't got to check shit because she ain't filling out applications.
Boom, in that order.
How about that?
And again, the importance of finances. You ain't even got to worry about
that.
those.
Check no motherfucking box. Fuck that. Don't worry about what I am. Green. I'm green. Let me check. You got green on here? Let me check green.
That's dope. I
but
like
anyway,
that.
off Kanye. You so rude.
I'm sorry. I had to.
You had to. I knew it. She been on it this morning, y'all. She has been on it. But have you ever gotten to a point to where finances almost brought you to that breaking point?
Yeah, when she was gambling the rent money. Like, it's frustrating as hell. I know people who have been in relationships and it's just like the partner didn't want to work. I've watched women carry their partner. You have 3 kids. He got a kid on the side. You got to pay child support. And he don't want to work. He's at home being at-home daycare. Daddy daycare. Ooh, he's at home being daddy daycare.
What if that works for them? What if that was their agreement?
That may work for them.
To not pay for daycare for all of these kids. If we both work, is daycare, do we want to pay for that, or do I just want to have you stay home with the kids?
That may make sense. And then once the youngest, because I believe so in this situation, once the youngest was able to go to school and of school age, then he started to integrate back into the work field. But a relationship is supposed to be reciprocated. I think finances should also be reciprocated. I can't carry you the whole time, but I mean, in a relationship, there's always, I feel, going to be a time when one partner is giving more than the other.
Absolutely.
And
that's why I hate when people say 50-50. Relationships can't be 50-50. They're 100-100 because you have to completely be given everything that you can at that given point.
But sometimes you can give 100, but that's when your partner, if you give in 70, then I need my partner to pick up the other 30%.
100 of what you can give at that given time.
Okay.
That is your 100. Okay. And then they're giving you their 100. That whole 50-50 shit will have you sitting there upset all the fucking time if you're looking for them to always meet you halfway. If you're looking for them to always give you what you're given, it's not going to work that way. But if you know that you're both giving 100% of what you have at that time, then you're good.
And if you're not doing that, that's where the anger and that resentment come in that we spoke about.
And I'm guilty of it because I was expecting that whole old school, you the man, you're supposed to be doing this and you're supposed to be doing that. And then I had to realize, like, Whitney, number one, he has grown a lot from the moment y'all said I do. Also, you knew what his career path was going to be.
Right.
You also knew he was a college student, so you knew there was going to be college
struggle.
debt.
Yes.
And so, but the thing is you knew you had a man who never gave up. That's why you married him. So you got to remind yourself of these things when you get yourself to where you're feeling any type of resentment or anger. You got to look within yourself.
You got to talk about it.
And you also got to check yourself because you may not be giving your 100%.
Financially?
All around. Finances play a major part, but all around. And if you women happen to be just at a point in time picking up certain finances, because let's say your man is, or your woman finishing their master's. So, in order for them to complete this last semester, they need to be completely focused. Mm-hmm. So that you decided, you know what, you stay home, you focus on this because this degree going to change our lives. When you do that, don't make them feel bad, because I saw that in a relationship as well.
Yeah.
Her man was finishing up his master's.
And I've been carrying you.
Bringing that type stuff up, that's why he get on
things
to
would be easier if you was doing this, and I took care of your ass, and you wouldn't have this if it wasn't for me, and don't nobody want to hear all that shit.
Y'all can't do that. It can't happen. And just to, call it out there, Black women, we're so guilty.
But here's my thing.
We are so guilty, and we have to stop doing that because we are built stronger than the rest. So the reason why we can carry a lot more is because we were built that way. Built Ford tough, no fuck that. Built Black woman tough.
Yeah, this country was built on our backs.
So if you are carrying your man at a certain point in time, are you really carrying him or are you helping him?
But even if you are, and this was what I was going to get to, even if you are, own it. Do it. You're a mother, you're a woman, you're a provider also. We provide. Mm-hmm. But how do I want to put this? Don't feel a sense of superiority about it, especially when it's a partnership. I just feel like don't down him because just because it's your season to pick up, like we said, you never know when those roles are going to change. But men, if your woman is doing this, or women, if your woman, or Ben, if your men, whatever, if your partner has picked up that role and they're supporting you while you riding it out or carrying the load financially, then pick up in other areas. What you can't provide financially, you can do in other aspects of life.
Say that.
Clean up around the house. There's no reason your woman is at work working all day, 10, 11, 12-hour shifts, and then she got to come home to a dirty house or got to worry about what's for dinner. That was a issue, you know? Like, I know women, I'm laid off, you stay at home, daddy, you're not doing nothing, but I still got to come home and cook. I still got to come home and bathe the kids and clean up the house. And
now, that will cause resentment.
Yeah.
That will cause, what the fuck do I need you for if I'm doing everything?
I'm doing everything. And you
and it
you
goes
watch
the
your
other way,
kids.
too. Your man out working 12, 14-hour days. Hell, even just regular 8-hour days, and you're home all day. I give it to stay-at-home moms. I'm not taking away from everything that you do. I was going to say flip it because
that's a job.
But I also need you to understand that you're home. You can crock pot.
Yeah.
You can slap something in the oven real quick.
And then clean up the house while you're doing that.
You can do these things. Set up when you're at home and you're a stay-at-home mom, you're allowed to build your own routine.
Yeah.
So, yes, some things will go out of order. But I hear a lot of stay-at-home moms say, well, you don't know all that we go through, and why should we have to do this? It's a job too. Okay, I get that. So you go to work. Let him stay home. And see how that works out for you. Which one would you want?
Right.
And I'm realistic.
You got to pick your battle. That's true.
And I don't mean no harm by this, but when you pick that title, stay-at-home mom, you're a stay-at-home mom wife. If you're married, if you're in that situation. So, mom wife, that means the kids got to eat, right? So does your husband. So dinner should be made.
But you still got to fulfill those wifely roles.
So that means home needs to be straight because that's part of your job. And then taking care of the kids, that's part of your job. So that's the few things you have to do. When your mate goes to work and clocks in, they have a list of tasks that they have to do. And they have to do these tasks or they're going to get fired.
Right.
Good thing about you is you're not going to be fired as a mom, but you can be fired as a wife.
Oh, absolutely.
So make sure that when you do this role, you do it all. And I'm not saying you have to cook every day. Oh, no, I don't believe in that. I believe in leftovers. I believe in pizza nights. I believe in you grab something on your way home because today was just one of them rough days. Little Tommy didn't want to go to sleep and dinner just not going to be made. Right. So I need you to do it.
Right. And when you're hardworking, financially responsible spouse, mate, partner is coming home to you after a long, draining day, or, you've seen them working hard, show some appreciation. Let them know that you appreciate it. You see them.
But then flip that too. Even though you just came in from a job, remember she was at home with them kids all day.
So show appreciation
so
for
when
her
you
too.
come home,
or him,
after you unwind a little bit, go play with your kids. Go love on your kids.
Give that break to that partner.
To go, even if it's just to go get her shower in and get dressed for you, so to speak, so she can look like a woman and not a mom for the moment. You have to give her that time or she's not going to be able to do it. If you're expecting for her to look like a Victoria's Secret model when you come home, you got to remember, she been coloring all day and doing ABCs and building Play-Doh houses and cooking and doing laundry. She not going to look like, if she does, them women that can do it, shouts out to you.
Just like if you was out there working in construction or doing whatever, you're not going to come home smelling like Sean John.
Exactly.
Gucci.
Exactly. So I think it just comes to communication. We always get back to communication. Communication can
the
save
basis in all relationships,
lot.
In sex, all of that. It comes down to communication. I think appreciation also, because if you're reciprocating that appreciation and giving it both ways and receiving it, then you're going to feel more comfortable and willing to give yourself up, so to speak, and be intimate with your partner because you don't feel like one person is carrying the load more than others. So that resentment doesn't creep in.
We make it personal. We internalize too much and we don't really see what the other person is doing. Mm-hmm. The burger flippers, the garbage men, the store managers, the whatever, the 7-Eleven workers, whatever. We don't see what they do or what they have to do. All we're seeing is, oh, this is all you're bringing home.
It's one-sided. That's when the selfishness creeps in. So we got to stop being selfish in aspects of finances, in all aspects of our relationship, especially when it's financial, because it's not easy to have to depend on the next person to take care of you, especially if you're independent. Now, some people just like to be taken care of. Them zuns. We don't like zuns. But...
Or them zotters. How about that? Nobody want them either. I'm just going to throw that out there.
So have some humility. It's not easy. I don't think it's easy. I wouldn't want to be completely dependent on my partner. But I mean, there comes a time when it happens. I've been laid off and unfortunately the roles were changed. And how dare she tell me my money, you can't, I do. You know,
right.
Because then she wasn't gonna get none. You're not gonna get none. Hey.
And that's crazy because there was a girl I work with that I love to death, super crazy, super funny person. She was in a situation or is in a situation to where she doesn't have to work. As far as for the bills getting paid and everything being good and straight and the house, you know, having everything that's needed for the home, she doesn't have to work. So I asked her, why do you work? She said, because I don't want anybody telling me I can't go get my hair done or I can't go get my nails done
or to even have to ask.
I can't go shop. She was like, yeah. She was like, so I don't want to depend on someone else for things like that.
Yeah.
If I want to go spend $200 on my kids because I just feel like want to buy them some clothes, I don't want because this person's cheap for me to not be able to do this. Ooh. So that's just keeping it oh so real. So I respect her wholeheartedly for doing that because sometimes you don't want to depend on that person.
And you run into that in relationships. Like, okay, I like to shop and you frugal and you want to shop at Walmart and I'm not a Walmart type chick, you know?
I'm Tarjay.
Oh, look at your bougie ass. Listen, look, but what if you got a Bloomingdale's bitch, you know? So, right. But
she better go make her Bloomingdale's money.
But that's why the separation of finances can come into play, you know?
But no, like that. And it all comes back to knowing that person that you signed up to be with. You have to know this person. And you have to be okay with this person being that person. If a year go by and you're expecting a whole nother person, then honey, you didn't want that relationship to begin with.
And all relationships have struggles. I can't name, y'all let us know if we're wrong, but I can't name one couple who hasn't at some point faced some point of financial difficulty and strain.
I can't either.
And it's another challenge that you got to face, just like anything else. You grow through what you go through, hopefully, you know?
And if you can grow together and y'all get to that point to where finances is not like a major thing, it's worth it. Because then you reflect back, like, let's just say, like I said, there was a point where me and my husband had $20 together. And you get to the point now to where you're not, now I'm not asking him how much money do you have left because I don't need any.
Right.
Now it's more so, baby, let me take you out on a date. Like, do you know how good like I said, I don't mind giving because I know he doesn't mind giving. But there was a point in time to where we were so stressed and tensed with finances that everything was mine. This is mine. You spend yours. This is mine. Y'all, that shit don't work.
And you don't have to give financially. Again, time, effort, energy. All of that makes a difference.
But you also have to be on the receiving end, willing to receive that versus the finances. Because if all you want is the money out of it, then you don't want a relationship.
No. And you're not going to go far if that's all you're in it for, unless you really just have that sugar daddy or sugar mama where that's what they want. They want to provide. But even then, I feel like there's going to be some sense of fulfillment in a relationship that's lost.
Absolutely. And I mean, to all of you women, I'm not saying, or men also as well, I'm not saying don't have standards. Like, you can absolutely say, well, I want my person to make this amount of money because I want them to match my lifestyle.
Right.
However, make sure that you're matching the lifestyle. Don't be no thousandaire talking about you want my man got to make millions. I need him to have a 7-figure income. And sis, you got 4.
Right.
Don't have no 4-figure trying to talk about you need a 7-figure. That's not going to work. That's not okay.
That's hilarious.
So I need you to understand where you are and what you're trying to obtain. Match the hustle, sis.
Match the effort. I'd say
And
that as well.
Zuns, please match the
I
effort.
can't stand her.
I'm just saying, I see it a lot. I see it a lot. And I just feel like it would eliminate a lot of relationship issues when it comes to finances if people understood that you signed up for this person. This is who you wanted to be with. You knew who they were. You knew what it was. You knew you didn't marry no Jay-Z, no Diddy, no Bill Gates. This is not who you married. You married Tyrone. So Tyrone came with what he got.
Call him.
So work it out.
And you already knew you had to pay for Jim, James, John, and Tyrone. You knew this. I'm just saying.
I really don't like you.
I'm just saying. You mentioned Tyrone. Call him.
You get on all my nerves. Anywho, we're going to post some questions in our group, and we just want to continue this conversation because it's bigger than y'all know. Finances ruin a lot of relationships, a whole lot of relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's sometimes it's a good thing because that's really just not the person that you were supposed to be with. But sometimes it's bad because if you'd have just encouraged them and understood that this is who you said I do to, or this is who you signed up to have kids with, or what have you, you'd have been happy. You wouldn't have been miserable because you wouldn't have been chasing something unrealistic.
But shit happens.
And people change.
Shit happens. But when shit happens, it's all in how you deal with it. So a few tips to dealing with financial strains. First thing couples should probably do is come to an agreement that they're going to make it through it. How they're going to make it through it. You know,
Plan
you
it
signed
out,
up for
write it
better or
out.
worse.
Write it out.
For richer or for poorer. In
But even
sickness
if
and
you're
health.
not married, even if you got just this household that you guys are running together, because I don't want you guys to think that we're just talking about married people. If you're with someone and this is the person
Any
you
kind of
love, and you're
commitment.
going, any type of committed relationship, work it out.
Yeah. And then another thing, if there's underlying issues of blame and anger, then those have to be dealt with sooner rather than later because resentment builds up and tensions build up and it carries through.
Song, Resentment from Beyonce?
That's my shit.
It's a real song.
That's my shit. But it's real. I only give you a hard time because what? Because this is life. This is what's built up. This is issues that we haven't discussed and we haven't dealt with. And now it's carrying over into our relationship, into the bedroom, into life. Mm-hmm. So communication, again, can help alleviate all of that. Another one, it says that the couple must accept the challenge as another way of the relationship being put to the test. So when you're going through it, use it as a test to provide a testimony to, you know, all couples go through everything, whether it's cheating, whether it's finances. What's some other tests that couples run into in relationships?
Lack of sex.
Yeah, that's a major challenge.
When you get busy, life gets busy. You're not having sex that much. It happens, y'all. It truly happens, especially when you're dealing with people who want more in life.
Yeah. So
it's going to happen, but you got to talk through it and you got to understand that it's just a season.
And finances are just another challenge to see if your relationship will stand the test of time.
And then also, rather than shutting down or like withdraw from your partner, communicate your feelings.
What's that word again?
Y'all, we going to say this probably on every show. Communication, it truly helps.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
And if you have some good communication, like you get like really down to the core and you get to the points where y'all saying I love you and apologizing. Do you know how good that sex
vibe?
is after?
Yes.
That's like that good connection. Like y'all souls are now intertwined. So that sex is about to be amazing.
And know that you can't fix what you don't know.
Exactly. And they can't fix what they don't know. If you don't communicate these things, you can't be mad that they're still doing it. And then the last one we have is you can help each other maintain an attitude that's hopeful and positive. So rather than bringing up how, well, fuck, we don't got this and we don't have that.
We can't never do this.
How about, all right, we found out a way, you know, to make sure that we got our power bill cut up. You know, that's the one thing. Let's cross that off the list. What's the next thing we got to tackle? And then once you celebrate the small things, like, okay, we finally got, you know, your car paid off.
We almost there.
That's a celebration.
We made it through this month.
Absolutely.
We still
had
got
dinner
each other
every day this week.
We ate dinner together.
And we had a night out because we was able to afford it.
Hey.
Boom. Even if it was just Taco Bell.
The small things. Celebrate the small things.
Celebrate the small wins. Seriously. And don't let anybody tell you finances are not important in a relationship. They absolutely are. However, don't let them control your relationship.
I like that.
Don't let that be everything.
I love that.
But that is all for us today. However, we always forget to tell you where you can find us. So
we shall be slacking.
We be slacking. We be slacking. We don't shout nobody out. We don't let y'all know how amazing Beat Network is and how it's been growing and how the noise is doing something amazing right now.
You know, everybody loves the noise.
The noise is the shit.
But the noise
right
is
now.
the shit. The noise has been the shit.
And y'all, if y'all listening, y'all like, what is the noise? I need y'all to seriously go to our page, because we're going to go ahead and post a few episodes in there for y'all so y'all can understand what started this whole Beat Network. That was the first show, was the noise.
Eat shit.
And it's the shit.
That's like my favorite catchphrase ever. Just eat shit.
So yes, you absolutely have to check it out. And then of course on Beat Network, we have Back to the Classics, which I believe was the second show. And we got to make sure that we, y'all, if all my movie buffs, people who love movies, that's a great show for you, because I'm not into movies. I am not a movie person. I'm a ratchet reality TV person. And so we also have a show for those of you who like those as well. So there's reality TV, which is the newest show on Beat Network.
So get your ratchet
and
overdose.
all, not just the ratchet ones. I think they do like the Real Housewives. Well, they get a little ratchet on there too.
Oh, them white girls is ratchet too. Don't get it. Don't get it twisted.
And then of course my other show, Like Water for Chocolate.
It's really dope.
Yeah.
Something for the honeys.
Absolute. Something for the honeys. That's my show. And then y'all know Pillow Talk. And just know that you can find all of these shows on Facebook. We all have our own Facebook page. We have Instagram pages. Ours is under construction because I'm not exactly sure what direction we're going to go with this. But just know
because Instagram and Facebook be hating on the stuff we be posting. They don't want to see no titties.
They blocked their video. Said somebody reported it and said we use their content.
Our ad?
Yes, the commercial.
Wow.
I got to show you, sis. I took a screenshot. But
wow.
Absolutely check out Beat Network. That's why we're here. That's what brought us here. And y'all can find me as Lady Truth on everything now. I made sure of that. So if you search Lady Truth, you can find me. I'm there. If you see another one and it's not me, call them out.
That's funny. You got to trademark that too.
I am. Yeah. Absolutely.
We on it.
There's a Queen Truth, and that's fine. Me and her talked because she liked that my name was so similar. She does music though, but yeah.
That's what's up. You're going to have her on the show.
Yeah, she already agreed to it, so she's pretty dope. She just don't live out here. That's so okay. Shout out to you.
But we appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. As always, talk to us. We talk back. This is Mrs. JaKCson, if you're nasty.
And Lady Truth. We'll see y'all next time.